practice your speaking, you can do that in front of a mirror, and it's the same when you do it in a camera. So here we go. Today I'm going to be speaking about having a family and raising kids. Nowadays, people in this generation tend to get married slower, and many people just come up with the final idea of not having kids is best, because in terms of responsibility and burden, we don't see it as a need to create more burden after we study for many years from our childhood, and then entering university years, and then we get a job, and then we try to have some savings, make money. Wow, it's been a long time since kindergarten, being a student, until you graduate and find a job. So you are in your early 20s or mid 20s. And then what's next? After all of that studying burden is finished, like educational responsibility to get a degree and a job, and then you jump right from there to having a bigger burden, which is having a family. When I say it's a burden, it gives the impression like, oh, it's something negative, but no, it's a burden, but of course it's like pro and con. But to me, I don't see it as something so necessary. I don't see it as something to fulfill life, to make us feel more complete as a person. So that's why I think it's good to have a long gap years after you finish your studies, and after you have some stable job, you start to travel a lot, and then you start to... Okay, my dad is just right behind me, and this really makes me feel a little bit awkward, because yesterday he just raised questions about why I'm still not married, and we talked about why kids are important. Like, he would stress, like emphasize the importance of having kids. And of course, for people in the countryside, the idea of having as many kids as possible is always like better than not having any kids at all. In agricultural lifestyle, like, you have more people as a labor to do farming. Even though my family is not agricultural family, they both are government retired people, but to have kids, for them, it's like it's good for many reasons. Of course, one of the most popular reasons is that kids will be there to take care of you when you're old. Even though they said no, they don't expect me to go like be there taking care of them. They know how to take care of themselves, but just to know that you have kids already makes you feel safe and secure. I can understand that, because I would come home every few months and spend time with my parents, and I know that because they have me as a daughter, makes them feel like, wow, I'm such a good daughter. I know that. So that's why they want me to have kids, because they know what it's like to have good kids. So my mom used to say that having kids is like, it's good. People will respect you more when you go out in public. Like, if you go to Tesco Lotus, people know that, oh, this old lady, even though she's not accompanied by any people, like even though she's alone, but respect her, give her some respect, because she has kids. Like, her kids are somewhere in Bangkok, like making money. I don't know if that makes any sense. Come on, if I would be an old lady walking to the market, and people would disrespect me just because I have no kids, that is oof. But I think it's all about feeling secure and feeling the stability and feeling the safety. But you can do so in many other ways. Like, you have lots of saving, and you have a life plan for the long future. You plan for what you will be doing in your 40s. So 41 to 45, 45 to 50, 50, 55, and then in your 60s, what you will be doing. Of course, you have to maintain your health, mental and physical health, in order to enjoy life as much as you can, and not spend all of your days in a hospital or in the care center. So I think it's all about planning the future and having financial stability to do so, in order to do so. And for me, if I don't have any kids. Of course, I would have a husband, I think, at least. And then you can plan a nice package about caring, like nursing home or having a nurse taking care of you at home. It's already good. Having kids does not guarantee that they will take care of you. And apart from that, okay, even though you don't expect for kids to take care of you, in some occasions like Songkran, Thai New Year, or whatever it is, New Year, Christmas, some holiday, some expectation is there, like you will expect some phone calls. And what if your kids forget, or they just intentionally they don't see it as important, they don't give you a phone call on your birthday or on their birthday, but you happen to see it on their Facebook? You would not feel happy about it, no? So far I don't see any good reasons to have kids yet, and I'm really happy for people who are happily having kids. Some people say they're not sure about it. If they could turn back in time, they would choose not to have kids, even though they are now like great parents, but it's a lot of sacrifice that they can't really put themselves first. And I'm someone who put myself first in terms of life. Like I like to put myself to enjoy life to the maximum that life could offer, especially traveling, something you can't really do it fully when you have kids. At least you have to sacrifice the first few years, making sure that you raise kids great, otherwise you can't have both. So you have to either sacrifice your own self, time, money, and everything, and sometimes it costs couple's life too, because your focus will shift to this common human being that you both create. I feel like this topic can be an endless discussion. Anyway, I think unless it happens accidentally, in that case I would not abort. But so far it never happens. And wow, I've been talking for like almost 10 minutes now, and I think it's time to close the video. And what about you? When you're watching me now, ตอนที่กำลังดูครูส้มอยู่นะคะ คุณมีลูกไหมแล้วคุณคิดยังไงกับการมีลูก แน่นอนค่ะการมีลูกคือความสุขของพ่อแม่และเป็นสิ่งที่คนไม่มีลูกไม่เคยรู้และจะไม่มีทางรู้อันแน่นอน but is it worth it? I mean, yes, of course, the happiness, and what about all the concerns? Most of people don't think like what if, and this kind of question is a taboo. I would never ask my friends that, but it's because I see that through the lens of me as a big elder sister, seeing my parents losing their child, which is my brother. So to cope with someone's loss is greatly miserable, but to cope with your own child, to see them suffer, to see them die, to hold a funeral for them, I can't imagine myself going through that. So I think you don't know what life brings. You can cover your sons, you can provide them safety and all that in some certain of their early years, but other than that you have to let go, right? Because they have their life. And it's part of the reason why I don't consider having kids like something like, wow, yeah, I need to do that. It's because I can't let go of life yet. Like the truth of life is มีอยู่เกิดขึ้นมีอยู่ดับไปเกิดขึ้นมีอยู่ดับไป It happens, it stays there for a while, and it will disappear. It's gone at the end. So เป็นวัฏจักรชีวิต circle of life, and I don't want my kids to go through that. Imagine having my own kids, like even though it does not exist yet, but I feel like I would love my kids so much that I don't want my own kid, แก้วตาดวงใจ, to go through that circle of life. Of course, it will be joy, it will be suffering. It's not easy, and that is it for today. Let me know what are your thoughts. คิดอย่างไรเกี่ยวกับท็อปิกนี้ ถ้าพูดอะไรให้ใครไม่พอใจนะคะ if I offend you with any of my ideas or opinions ขอโทษด้วยนะคะ แต่นี่ก็คือเหตุผลของครูส้มแล้วก็เป็นการฝึกคิดภาษาอังกฤษไปในตัวค่ะสำหรับวันนี้สวัสดีค่ะ